is on examples of task 2, but mainly is on the content and the organization and planning of task 2. Pra, mësimi sotshëm është për mënyrën e organizimit, të planifikimit dhe të përmbajtjen e pjesës së dytë të shkrimit akademik në provimin IELTS. Let's continue. Vazhdoj. Organizimi. So strategies for organization. Now, the first thing that you need to do is, before you have started working on your task 2, you need to think about organizing task 2. So organizing of task 2 has to do with first thinking about the ideas. So it's very important that you have the ideas that connect with the topic sentence, with the topic of the paragraph, of the essay. So shumë e rëndësishme që të mendoni për idetë cilat lidhen me temën e hartimit që do bëni apo të esejës që do bëni. After that, you need to think about organizing these ideas, so putting them together, and remember that you need to have you need to have ideas to write about 150 to 250 words. Pra mbani mend që duhet jenë rreth 150 të 250 fjalë, të cilat duhet I keni pak a shumë në mendje përpara se sa të shkruani. Në të njëjtën kohë, at the same time, you need to think about the key idea. So basically, the key idea should come from your topic. So the topic needs to give you the key idea, and the key idea is when you break down the topic in different parts, and those are the main ideas that you need to explain in your essay. And very important, when you are writing, always think about personal perspective. So it's something that only you can say. It could be from your culture, it could be from your country, it could be from your personal experience. Think about including that in your writing, because that makes your writing different from other people's writing. So basically your writing becomes unique. Pra kur shkruani keni parasysh që ju jeni një njeri I ndryshëm nga të tjerët, ndaj mundohuni që të shtoni fjalë nga eksperienca juaj, diçka që është vetëm e juaja, sepse kjo e bën shkrimin tuaj më të fuqishëm, më të fortë, më të veçantë, më të ndjeshëm. Let's continue. Now, content. Përmbajtja. Content is very important. Now, when you look at the content, you always need to remember that the content should be complete. So if we start an idea, an introduction, body paragraph, you should explain it, and then eventually the conclusion, you should conclude. Now, introduction and conclusion of your essay are very similar. So basically, they should be like parallel. So what you write in the introduction should be the same, or at least more or less the same as what you write in the conclusion. And body paragraph is the explanation. Now, when you talk about the topics, in the introduction, you just introduce the topic. So let's say if somebody is asking you to introduce yourself, what you do is you just say the most important things about you. So you talk about your name, you talk about your nationality, you talk about maybe your profession, and maybe the city where you are from, and that's it. So the same logic works with the essay. Introduction means just introduce. Do not explain, only introduce what your topic is, what are the keywords, what your essay is going to talk about. That's it. That's introduction. And the same thing is repeated in your conclusion. Now, in your introduction, you of course need to write the thesis, which comes from your essay topic. Let's continue. Pra, siç tham në pjesën e parë, në introduction, ju duhet flisni diçka që ka të bëjë me gjërat e përgjithshme. Pra, parathënia apo introduction nuk është, ju nuk shkoni në detaj, nuk ka asnjë lloj detaj. Ju keni vetëm informacion të përgjithshëm, për shembull, cila është tema, cilat janë pjesët kryesore të temës dhe çfarë do të bëni ju në esej. So the last part of the introduction is generally this essay will explain, and then you explain what the essay will talk about. Let's continue. The last part which you need to bear in mind is planning. Pra planifikimi, mënyra se si do ta bëni gjithë kësaj në bashkë. Now, always remember if when you have 40 minutes for your essay, for your second task in your IELTS writing, always remember, pay some attention to all of these. So pay attention to the organization, pay attention to the content, and of course planning. Now planning means you write down your ideas, 1, 2, 3, and then you think about how those ideas are connected with each other, which idea comes first, which idea comes later. So for example, if you are writing about introduction, then let's say the topic is smoking in government businesses, you talk about good idea, bad idea, freedom, smoking businesses, good idea, and why is it a good idea. You don't explain the introduction, you just talk about it in general. In the body paragraph, you start talking about the first one, good idea. And then you have bullet points, you say smokers may work better if they can smoke, passive smoking, objection from other staff, takes away freedom, businesses have the right to limit staff activities. This is paragraph 1. Paragraph 2, government limitation on smoking in public places, good idea. And then you explain the cost to society, passive smoking, the danger to passive smoking, the problems with healthcare, benefits to society, tax revenue from smokers, from selling tobacco, pressure groups, smoker, tobacco companies, take away freedom, government has the right to regulate citizens, will citizens support the regulation? So these are your 2 body paragraphs where you analyze different sides, and then conclusion takes you back to your introduction. So this is how you will put all your essay together. So introduction, first you'll just introduce the idea of good idea or bad idea, freedom, which is basically bad idea. And then you have explanation of the good idea, the limitations, both paragraphs, and then in conclusion you go back to your introduction and you complete your essay. Pra, e gjithë eseja duhet ketë 4 paragraphs, so in this case you have 4 paragraphs, introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion, so 4 paragraphs. Pra në përgjithësi ju keni 4 paragraf, një parathënie, 2 paragraf ku ju jepni detaje, paragrafi i tretë që shkon prap tek paragrafi i parë, që është paragrafi i parathënies. So this was today's session. Next, tomorrow, I will be explaining the actual essay, so we'll be going through the actual essay. Until then, practice as much as you can, and share the channel, and see you next time. Take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.